Okay, so the first thing that I want to cover in this guide is, of course, getting you acclimated to your undeclared engineering curriculum and making sure that you can read through it and really, really use this resource as you pick your first semester's classes. So, to start, it does mirror how major templates work for specific majors. And in that, the classes that you see here are actually all required for pretty much every single engineering major, which means if you were to take that first semester list of classes, you would be on track with mechanical engineering, civil engineering, environmental engineering, whatever engineering degree that you are the most interested in. Of course, each engineering major does have different classes. Of course, they prioritize different classes, which is why I will always suggest while you're an undeclared engineer, you should always meet with me to talk about your specific goals so that I can show you additional options that might make more sense for you and what you want to do. However, this is a great starting point for anyone, and this list of fall classes is it's a very comfortable place to begin your time at RPI while you're trying to figure out what you want to do. However, to get into helping you go through your new guide so that you can begin to plan that for fall semester, let's take a look. So at the top, of course, we have an area for your name and RIN. This is really helpful for me if you ever fill this guide out or highlight it, so that way I can quickly look up your information. And then, of course, if you write down the majors of interest that you have, I can look at your plan and see exactly, are you looking at the classes that you should prioritize and if there's anything a little bit different. As we scroll down a little bit more, we'll see this is the plan for fall 2021, spring 2022. And if you read this note, you will know that you do have to declare your major, but right at the very start of your sophomore year. So we do have a list of third semester classes. However, by this point, you're probably going to be taking something specific to a major that you have declared. A good way to think about these 3 semesters is a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. So if you're bringing in electives with you, so you're advancing through the curriculum a little bit faster, maybe you will be looking at this list of classes, in your spring semester as an option. With each of the semesters, you do see colors up here, and the corresponding colors are down here as footnotes. So this is showing you all the options and alternatives there could potentially be for every class, or if there's an important note about that class. So the first one to mention is Engineering 1700, which is a 1-credit course that you will take in your fall semester. This class, if you come down here, you will see Engineering 1700, Introduction to a Better World Engineering. This column here will give you a little bit of a description to let you know exactly what this class is. So, for example, this class will present on a different engineering major every week, and it is a great class to support undeclared students who are trying to pick the engineering major they want to choose. And over here, most importantly, you will see that it is a fall-only course. So that means if you don't take it this fall, you'd have to wait till your sophomore year, which, as we just discussed, you will, as an undeclared engineer, be declared by that point, so you would not be taking this class. So that's a good example of how these footnotes can go through. For the second one, you'll see the orange. So the orange is in both semesters. It's showing you there are different, again, 1-credit exploratory options. These are major specific. And again, you'll always want to look over here, this fall only, spring only, to make sure that you're taking advantage of the options while you're in a semester for them. Looking at the yellow, you can see there's actually 3 different versions of a CAD class at RPI, so you can kind of choose which one is appropriate for you and your goals, and you might very quickly look at this list and go, you know what? I don't really know what my plan is, so I am totally going to leave, the CAD class in the spring semester just so that I can make a decision about it later when I have a little bit more information. So that's kind of a way to start navigating through this guide. Other things to know, when you look at the guide, it also is a reference of how many credits you should be expecting to take each semester. And I'll talk about this more in the guide too. But in your very first semester of college, we're really going to be looking at having you take between 16 and 18 credits in the fall. And then that number is pretty much going to be the number you're going to shoot for your remaining 4 years at RPI. So you will be taking between 16 and 18 credits a semester, almost regardless of what engineering degree you ultimately declare. As you can see at RPI, our main courses are worth 4 credits, which is how we get to that 16 to 18 credits. All right, so I'm going to leave this here now, and we will carry on with the guide.